Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
The Keith and the Girl 2019 Marathon is now in the Keith and the Girl store. How exciting.
We ran 26.2 miles.
Can you imagine? That would have been easier.
That would have been...
We did a 24-hour marathon with upwards of 50 comedians. Go to keithandthegirl.com/store. You'll see the whole thing, the video, the audio. It's all there.
And you'll see the list of people and when they were in, which section of the marathon they're in, like Hannah Boone and, oh my God, there's so many. I'm like...
Start naming.
Andrea Allen.
Okay, we'll be here a bit. Today's guest, ladies and gentlemen, he's appeared on the Game Show Network, Oxygen, National Geographic Network, the Hot Mess Comedy Hour. Calvin Cato. Hello, Calvin.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good, buddy.
Sorry,
Good.
ladies. I'm trying to be more opposite gender neutral.
I'm reading the news.
Opposite gender. Okay, cool. Is that the next step? All right.
It is. I've been watching a lot of Tales in the City right now, so like it's been like on my mind. I'm like, oh, I got to be like less gendered about things.
I'm seeing these Democratic debates that we'll get to, and you can tell how woke everyone's trying to be, where one of them should just stand up and go, you know what? I'm for white people. That's the only way to stand out. You know? Everybody's speaking Spanish. I'm noticing.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I'm like, holy shit, that really caught on, this Spanish.
Caught on.
Yeah.
Like it's a Macarena? Jesus.
Well, I do remember when the country shifted a little bit when people were starting to use LGBT as a positive thing, where it's like I think Obama and Hillary Clinton were just like, yeah, I'm totally into this or whatever, and then everyone was accusing them of, oh, you're just saying that so that people get on your side, and then the LGBT community was like, well, at least they're using it to get on the side because that's like one step further. You know? Like it used to be like, ew, you like that, we're not voting for you. Now it's like, oh, you're pretending you like gay people and like trans and whatever in order to get the votes. And it's like, wait, how does everybody feel? Hold on.
Yeah. I think it's like nice. It's like an actual sign of progress when you're like, oh, like we should at least pretend to care because there are enough of them that they can vote now.
Isn't it great what we have to accept as progress? Guys, we have to accept this as progress or we'll never go anywhere.
I mean, listen, I want a rainbow-colored bowl from Chipotle, so it's very important.
20 Democrats running for president right now, and they'll drop like flies soon, but you had the first 10 in the national debate last night, another 10 tonight. And apparently Bernie Sanders is practicing his Spanish. He's walking around his hotel room. El 1% superior del 1% superior.
That was actually pretty good Spanish.
Thank you.
What does that mean?
It's 12th grade Spanish for top 1% of the top 1%.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But, you know, you had, who was it? Beto O'Rourke. He started speaking Spanish, and then Cory Booker, who is Spanish, he's right next to him. He's like, I was going to do that. Then he starts doing it.
What's the inspiration to it? Did they just
to show I want the Spanish vote.
Yeah.
But do they just like break out into Spanish, or do they just say a name with an accent?
You know
what I mean?
Right.
Like, first of all, Cortez. I was just.
So I'll tell you more about that. I did watch the first one. It's the 10th.
You really take one for the team. Keith calls me and he's like, I don't know if you care, but the debate's are on. We're going to be talking about it tomorrow. I'm like, do you care if I don't care? Because I'm about to watch War Games with my boyfriend. He's like, okay.
Which, frankly, is just as relevant. I mean, it's all about a Cold War between U.S. and Russia.
Oh, I
played
thought you
out.
meant my boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. We got it. You have one of those, and it's wonderful, and I'm very happy for you. Like, very happy.
Do you guys kick people out of brunch? Or is it anything goes? Should Henda be prepared for a ride home?
I have the scepter this week, so I will decide.
Right. It's the 10th anniversary of Michael Jackson's death. I learned it because O.J. Simpson tweeted out a rest in peace Michael message. I, of course, follow him on Twitter. He says in the message, he's like, you know, I can't debate about Michael Jackson's private life. I don't know enough. But he was always a good person. I brought him many, many children, and he entertained them all. I'm like,
Wait,
well, this is some message.
What?
Yeah, this is some. He's like, hey, I don't know exactly what happened in his personal life, but we ran a charity together, and I gave him children.
That's so funny. It's like a lot of people with an opinion say, I don't have an opinion, but if I did have an opinion, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Well, O.J. Simpson's the king of if I did it. So, like, of course he's going to have. an
Right.
opinion. I still can't believe he's actually on Twitter though. Like you,
Just telling on himself.
yes,
Yeah.
like it's a count to him before he like basically just admits,
Oh yeah.
right? Like I can't imagine like
Oh, it's like what's that movie? You can't handle the truth, where the guy just like speaks to his ego and he's like, "Yes, we ordered that. We do all kinds of illegal shit around here."
Well, you're under arrest. What'd I say?
What? Am I still in court? You tricked me. Is that what the enemy is gonna do to you?
What are you trying to do? What's your plan, Tom Cruise? I'm gonna get him to just yell he did shit. That's dangerous. I'm going for it.
Oh, so are you a pussy and you don't tell your men to do dumb shit? He's like, no, I'm not a pussy. I tell them to do all kinds of dumb shit.
What?
did OJ have any tweets about the debates?
Yeah, honestly, he did. I'm not joking. So I really do follow him, and
That we were not believing you there.
and he was on some channel on his TV, and he's really just showing off his huge living room, which has to sicken the Goldmans that he's so rich still.
It's got to stick in him. Wouldn't you hide your wealth a little bit just to
Yeah.
humble yourself? Just like, no, you don't double murder and then still get to have a pool. And
So he's sitting on a couch, and he has it on his face, and he's like, very exciting. The debates are going to happen in 30 minutes. And I don't know much about politics, but it's a very exciting time. Like he's saying nothing, like he's running. It's a very exciting time for this country, and I hope a good person wins. I know. I don't think I'd want that job, as if we're offering it to him. And then he goes, let me show you my TV so you believe me. And then he like walks to his, double barrel
my
fridge and, takes you around the house. And then it's finally on his TV after you pass the bowling alley. And you see, it just says, NBC debates coming up, and there's a countdown timer. And he sends that out. He's excited.
well, he really proved it.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to go on with the debate. He approved.
Thanks for getting in the process, OJ. What the fuck?
You guys, I know nothing, but I'm sure going to vote.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting into it. I mean, it's a disgusting world. I'm reading a poll that found that 24% of Republicans and 17% of Democrats think small business owners should be allowed to refuse service to Jews based on religious grounds.
Based on what religious grounds?
If it's my business, I can't say who I serve and who I... You're dead. Get out of my fucking country. 17% of Democrats, 24% of Republicans believe if you have a business and you don't want to serve to Jews because you don't like that religion, you don't have to.
What's up with still being upset with the Jews? Yeah.
Right.
I don't get it. But seriously, you guys share a Bible. Some of the people who are against it, I don't understand. You even call it the first one. I don't follow. It's the originals. I don't. Okay, and then what? You're angry with Jews because they did what? Like you legit just think my horns are coming after you? Like what? I just wonder. Like, what are you upset about? Could we sit and talk? I will bring a bagel.
I guess it's if you only read one Harry Potter book and you stopped, you're a weirdo. Well, he grows up. That's important. Whose name shouldn't be said?
But also, if we did kill Jesus, and I say we just because I grew up as I don't want to associate with Jews, but if we did kill Jesus, which I don't think we did, even
This
in
is
the
sounding
books.
very OJ right now. If we did kill Jesus.
But like, doesn't your God forgive and then turn into my God? I don't understand. Someone help me with this Bible. It's in a different language that I actually do speak and have studied.
Well,
but
it's weird because it's almost satanic, the Jewish religion. You read the Bible backwards. That's demonic. That's playing music upside down. I don't like it.
that explains the melody of it.
Hello, hey, new.
Right. If you read it the right, if you read it the right way, it's a pretty song.
The only person upset in this room is Andrea because she's got the most Shik's appeal. She loves the Jews more than anybody in this room, and there are two Jew-raised people here.
Jew raised.
Well, I don't want to assume what you are now. You could have been straight raised, but hey, do you?
For the most part, a lot of angry straight raised.
Wasn't it understood that in Germany you can't do the Hitler salute, you can't have swastikas, right? Like isn't it understood like they're very serious about that? You go to jail you know, you got to be careful even referencing history
Yeah.
of Nazis. Apparently not. There's a right-wing organization over there that had 600 people, extreme right-wing. They call themselves neo-Nazis. And the police said, you know what, you can't have alcohol at your event because it's going to turn too violent.
Oh my God.
But you can have the event. I thought they couldn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah, but Keith, you can't be a Nazi in Germany. Neo-Nazis are the new Nazis.
Hello, hey, new.
They're shining their boots. They don't know who they're mad at. Look in the mirror. Nice and shiny. Let's go kill some queers. All right.
It is crazy though. This happened years ago, but a similar thing happened in North Carolina where they had like it was a KKK rally, but they
Say
were
don't so KKK in North Carolina.
I know. Ironically, and I swear to God, I was in a town that was called Harmony, which made me laugh even harder. But yeah, they were like, you can't have alcohol or drugs at the KKK thing. And then they were like, they were going to have a cross burning and everything, but there's like no alcohol, which I was like, this feels very pointless.
I would love to see that email. You guys.
No, it was an email. They were flyering. Like they were killing trees to be like, hey, can you be hateful? And also let's burn another tree.
No, but then they have to send an email blast to their people.
Oh, yeah.
They have to be like, look, no drugs and alcohol, but we still get to burn shit.
No, I think it's good that the KKK people are ruining their own trees. They don't need them, okay? President Trump gave a reason why he wouldn't have raped advice columnist E. Jean Carroll, who says in the past she was raped by him. He says, quote, she's not my type.
I knew it. I knew she just wouldn't be his rape type. It's just, you know, I've seen his rape type, and she's like, almost.
Quote, I'll say it with great respect. Number one, she's not my type. That's number
not
one.
Great respect, though. Either.
Number two, it never happened. It never happened, okay?
If she was my type.
In this order, number one, not my type.
Yeah.
Number two, didn't do it. Carroll accused Trump.
I only rape people who are my type.
Carroll accused
I
Trump
only rape
of
people if it happened.
right. Sexually assaulting her more than 2 decades ago at a glitzy Manhattan department store. Carroll joined more than a dozen women who have accused Trump of sexual misconduct. She said she told 2 friends at the time that they both confirmed her account of the attack to the magazine.
Also, who wants to admit that they slept with Trump?
Well, Stormy Daniels did.
No, but like we don't want to admit.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So this is like, I have to do this. Ugh. First, I got raped by him. Now I'm gonna say it in the news, and then people are gonna associate my name with that. Ew.
ugh.
He also said that he never met this woman, but pictures show the 2 of them together.
See, Trump talks so much. I knew that would get to him because, first of all, as Trump, really, you can't take that chance. You have met so many people so many times. You know that there's going to be a picture with this woman because you did meet her, even if you don't remember everybody you raped.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, I knew that a picture would come out because he also likes taking pictures. He likes being that celebrity. He likes being next to people in the picture. You know, he goes out for that. He was the original selfie bitch.
Right.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's saying it's a trick from the Democratic Party to make him look bad. Politics gets ugly, doesn't it? Never
Fake
heard about
news.
this in my whole life from any president, but it gets ugly out there. President Trump says he's inviting the U.S. women's national team, soccer,
Oh,
So they all together, huh?
to the White House. And
No, thank you.
the women's team is saying no.
I remember seeing that on Twitter where Megan, I think it was Rapinoe, she's like,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking going to the White House. And I was like, yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? Good. I'm glad you said it. Also, what do you want to do? Oh, yay, let me eat some like reheated Big Macs. Fuck you.
Right.
Like, it's not even like remotely an honor anymore. Even like, I mean, despite the fact, Donald Trump, it's like, it's not even good food.
Right.
I have McDonald's coupons at home, bitch. Like, I don't need to be here.
I don't have to dress up for this.
Yeah.
And then I have to call you sir?
Ugh.
No.
No.
Trump, of course, tweeted at her, or tweeted including her.
Oh, something nice?
Women's soccer player at M. Pinot just stated that she is, quote, not going to the effing White House if we win. Other than the NBA, which now refuses to call owners, and then parentheses, please explain that I just got criminal justice reform passed. Black unemployment is at its lowest level in our country's history. The poverty index is also the best numbers ever. First of all, pause. He thinks this lady's black.
Of course he does.
right?
It's
Wait,
a woman
does-
in a sport, so he thinks she's black.
Does
Right.
it count when black people are in jail? Like, do we count that as like employment? Like, because they're not employed.
I mean, it's technically
guys.
really slave labor,
Yeah.
but
I put them all in jail. So
Megan should win before she talks, he finishes up. I'm a big fan of the American team and women's soccer, but she's got to win first. Finish the job. We haven't yet.
bitch, you invited me.
Right.
I don't.
Donald Trump tweeted out during the Democratic debates. No joke, he wrote, boring. Send.
Stop it.
Yeah.
No,
that is, I did see that. That is actually what he
Keith,
said.
stop. Keith, stop.
At which part?
Someone.
This is like my dad emails.
All
Like, I
of
can't
it.
believe he said that. No? You can't believe it?
He said boring.
He sent out a tweet of a video that somebody put together. There were these sound issues during the debate. They switched from 2 moderators for the second hour, Rachel Maddow and a dude. It was like the fun hour. You know, we're going to have the cool people in. And they kept the mics on of the other people that were in the hallway yapping. And so they had to cut to commercial and fix that. So in this tweet that Donald Trump sends out, it shows there's trouble with the audio. Then the screen goes black, which didn't happen. And then smoke fills the room, and Donald Trump comes out going like, hey, I'm here. Send.
Honestly, what bothers me more is the fact that he steals all of these memes.
Right.
He's like the fat Jew. Like, it's so terrible. It really bothers me, to be honest.
Right. Well, I'm watching the debates, and when the second group of moderators, I'm sorry, I forget the guy's name. The guy starts talking, and he points to the ceiling as he's talking, and I know that's something I would do, and I'm like, he's given a cue that something's wrong with the sound.
Yeah.
And then there ends up being something wrong with the sound. I'm like, you got to hire me. Of course, you point to the ceiling like a wacko. It means, hello, people. There's weird sound in the room.
Now, if you were the moderator, what would your debate questions be?
Ooh, would that be your debate question if you were the moderator?
Yeah.
Right. I don't.
Meta.
I would like to think that I would be able to go, I said 30 seconds. Shut up. You have to be able to turn these people's microphones off.
I agree.
And what's funny is you have to.
Ooh, you know what? Let them go, but the time you go over in one question makes you take it away from the next question, and if you
Right.
waste 30 seconds, you don't get to answer a question.
Ooh, I like that.
Game show rules.
I'd be like,
You know, I heard it was boring. Let's amp it up.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't. Look, I have to respond to this. Oh, you can't respond right now. I have to. You can't. I have to. Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds. That's honestly how it goes. So they all get their 30 seconds, you know? It'd be like when I'm getting beat up in school and I went, okay, but I'm only giving you 30 seconds, as if it's my choice. And it's funny what a thin line it is. Like, you do have to interrupt or insist to get your point out there, but you have to know not to interrupt too much. New York City Mayor de Blasio is running, and he's a bad interrupter. Like, he didn't know. No, if they say they're going to commercial, you can't interrupt that. You just
don't
look like a
interrupt
whiny.
money, you fucking
Yeah, don't
cunt.
interrupt money. You look like a whiny asshole. But if it's, somewhere that we just came back from commercial break, you can interrupt.
Yeah, I mean, we all know commercials are the things that pay for it. Interrupt the women that are talking.
Right.
They're used to it, A.
By the way, there was a recent election here in New York City. I don't want to brag, but I voted. And I voted for a DA in Queens, and she won out of 11 people. My vote, Caban, is her name.
I voted too, so...
Yeah. Did you know, by the way, you can vote high? And that got me so fucking high. I'm walking the street, and I'm like, first of all, I'm so high I can feel the earth rotating. It's round, believe me. So anyway, I walk to the polling place, and nobody knows about this. You're in, you're out. Nobody knows about these little elections. And... yeah, and I'm just like, wow, nobody knows. Look at this. Just giggling to myself. Like, no one knows.
You know what's the best is getting Keith high, and he'll be like, no more. And then you ask him one more time, like one more before you go. It's just because I've been smoking. He's like, you know what? Yeah. And then he walks away. 1 minute later, I get a voice message going like, nobody knows I'm high.
Whatever. Look at all these idiots. Hello, idiot.
And then he goes, we just came from a meeting. We got a little high. We were going to vote and then come back to the studio to do more work. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pick up my stuff from home, blah, blah, blah. I'll text you when I'm heading over. And around that time, he goes, so we're going to take a nap first, right? And I was like, oh, Stony Keith. Of course we are. And I go, a space nap, Keith? And he's like, hello.
We're all going to swim in the stars for 2 hours, right? And then we'll meet again? All right, good.
That's so adorable.
It is. It's great.
Oh my god.
These when you vote though, and you see these volunteers, and it's always old people, and they're ready
Are they volunteers or are they getting paid?
They're volunteers, and they're ready to die. Are they getting paid? Maybe they're getting $5 an hour. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought they get paid. I mean, maybe it's like minimum wage or slightly less or something. But
I thought they got paid pretty well.
Well, I think. Yeah, I'm sure it's so well. Well, how about you wake up literally? Because look at this picture. I'm passing this woman sleeping. I could have voted 10 times.
Damn, I was gonna take a picture because mine had a policeman right outside the room.
Yeah.
And he was sitting in a chair. First mistake. Why? And then he's just head down texting the entire time.
Same with mine.
I come in, he's texting. I leave, he's texting. And I'm like, look around when somebody opens the door.
Right. It could be the mayor.
Yeah. Straighten up a little bit.
Right.
And I was like, why didn't I take a picture of it?
Right. Well, you're Jewish. Don't
don't
push it. Why fuck around?
Police brutality is a thing.
Right. There's a new, of course, wrap-up show. What do we call it, Kendall? We have so many shows.
Last week on Keith and the Girl.
Last week on Keith and the Girl. Bianca rates voters.
I don't know why I panicked for a second.
I know.
I'm like, what is it?
Voters to your microphones. Keith, Hemda, and Bianca do their civic duty on this episode of Last Week on Keith and the Girl. Don't miss your opportunity to participate in the process. Be a good citizen. Listen to this episode right now.
And let me tell you the truth about this episode. You listen in because Keith thinks we're behind a paywall, and he spilled more stuff about his family.
Oh.
Yeah, I gasped at least twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I look over at Keith, and he's like, am I saying something? I'm like, no, that's totally normal. Just keep talking.
I included a family member in my dad emails. And I thought this person would be bothered by it. Loves it. Loves it. I'll get to more of those, but let me tell you first about Rothy's shoes. I love these shoes. They're for girls, they're for women, but I appreciate style, and I like knowing people are comfortable.
That's what I always say about you.
That's true. That's true. They're stylish shoes for women and girls made out of recycled plastic water bottles. Insanely comfortable. I say clinically insanely comfortable. It's weird. Machine washable. Machine washable. That's crazy. Stylish. Versatile. They go with everything from yoga pants to dresses and skirts. Yeah. Wide range of colors and patterns. 4 different silhouettes. That's a word that might make sense to people.
Yeah, you've never met a drag queen, have you?
But picture you can be a drag queen, but you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a whole new world, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. They say it'll blow your mind that they're made from recycled plastic water bottles. You might die.
Okay, they didn't say that, and I just...
From your mind being blown.
Oh, that's true. That was surprising. Like, I almost don't want Keith to say that water bottle part because it sounds like it'll be...
Crunchy.
Yeah. It's the softest shoe I have.
Yeah.
And I have thrown it in the wash, and it's totally fine.
Here's what you do.
God.
Go to rothys.com/KATG and just take a look. rothys.com/KATG. Get your new favorite flats. rothys.com/KATG. Comfort, style, sustainability. These are the shoes you've been waiting for. At the rothys.com/KATG today. All right?
From Keith's mouth to your feet.
Right.
Ooh.
But I'll tell you what. So
That was sultry.
That's how I feel about these plastic bottles.
no, I'll pour.
How do I speak like this and sing like that? Like, what's up, you guys? I'm female as fuck.
No, I put water right into my shoes and drink from them on long trips. Yeah,
That's why they're machine washable.
They're so good. You got to keep them clean,
I
right?
swear to God, if we have to redo that.
So stop that like a minute earlier, Julia. Thank you. So anyway, with the debates, you can't. The West Wing does debates better. Where's Aaron Sorkin when you need him? Even the great Elizabeth Warren isn't answering the question being asked. You know. Same question to you, Senator. How are you talk about what it is you want to talk about instead of answering my question? Ariel Elias wrote that online. You could tell when they're thinking, of course. I appreciate the question. It's like,
Yeah.
we've been here an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Just answer it.
But it's theater, political theater.
Right.
Yeah. First of all, it's good to be here.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is some of these people I've never heard of. I know Elizabeth Warren. I recognize Beto O'Rourke. Of course, the New York City mayor, I know. But then there's a couple that I've never, not only haven't heard of, because I don't really follow this stuff, the cameraman didn't either.
Which one of them is
And
it?
to Senator Johnson, and you just see this wide shot because Senator Johnson's taking in the question, but he's not making a move yet. And then suddenly somebody moves a little more than the others, and it zooms on him. The third one.
It's hard though. There's
It's all every fucking thing that is government related sounds like when we were 12 and we're putting on a show.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So stupid.
It's him, and turn off the mics that aren't being used.
It's hard because there's just a lot of like nondescript white guys on the stage. It's like
Yeah.
really hard. Like, I mean, I know most of the people. Like, I try to keep up with politics a lot, but like there.
Are you learning the difference between white people now?
I mean, I kind of have to. It was court ordered, but like. Because it's just hard because like a lot of them are just so generically like, oh, let's just be moderate. Like Tim Ryan, like I can kind of know because he's the one who like tried to like take the speakership from Pelosi, and he's like very obnoxiously white, like,
Right.
but as opposed to regular white.
What is funny how you can tell just by their faces, like, oh, am I watching The Bachelor here? You're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like, what? Nobody told you you're not going to make it? I'm just looking at your head. There's no chance. Like, do I put money on that? You'll be the first one out. Look at you. I'm surprised you can talk. These rectangular heads, some of them, I don't know what they're pretending they're doing. They lost a bet, but you're really wasting everyone's time, especially your families. There's not a chance. There's not a chance.
Why would I watch the debates when I can get the recap from Keith's mouth?
Senator Johnson, I'm holding up a mirror. Why?
Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
so sad.
Why I see that Cory Booker, by the way. I've heard his name, but it's the first time I saw him.
You never seen him before?
No, because that's a head I'd remember. This guy, he really looks like he's using his mind to crush my brain. Right? Put your eyeballs in a little bit.
He's got an intense stare.
Oh, he's intense.
That's how he dated Rosario Dawson.
Oh my God. Well, he'd be talking, and then Mayor de Blasio starts eating his microphone like it's a Tootsie Pop. He didn't get much in with all this interrupting at bad times. He was interrupting during the commercial. That's de Blasio. Terrible interrupting. That would be if I taught a podcasting class, class number 2, how to interrupt properly.
Ooh.
Right? People don't know how to do it.
Oh my God, I'm still on it. I'm holding a mirror. Why?
No, it's not like I don't really follow politics, but it's like when I'm watching the Olympics.
This is as serious as we need to take
Yeah,
it.
I watch the Olympics. I don't know what's happening, but you still have an attitude, right? You're like, that was not a perfect splash. You don't even know if you're supposed to see the toes or not, but you're like, nah, please. That's what this is like. I'm like, oh, I don't follow politics, but you just fucked up. Your lip is sweating. You are out. You are out. By the way, you see these politicians, people, trying to get you to vote for them and on the streets.
Yeah.
And I'll take it if you're the enemy and just rip it up and give it back.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why we recommend Vistaprint. Get Vistaprint cards. And you don't have to worry if somebody's wasting them. 500 high-quality custom business cards starting at $9.99. You go to vistaprint.com/KTG, and you'll see what's going on. It's confidence. It's having a card. It's being somebody, right? Make your family proud. Hey, check out my business. Yeah, what is it? Oh, I'll type it in your phone. And while I'm there, I'll scroll through your pictures. Just give me a card. We use them. We love them. We happen to get stickers there, too. We do it all. Vistaprint wants you to be able to own the now. That's what they call it in any situation, which is why our listeners will get 500 high-quality custom business cards starting at $9.99. Just go to vistaprint.com/KTG. That's vistaprint.com/KTG. One more time, because you'll love them. Vistaprint.com /KATG. You can use their templates. You can make your own. We don't know anything about art. We made our own. It's fantastic.
What the fuck is happening?
Right.
I don't know, but I'm in for the ride.
Oh my God. This is the best. I am totally subscribing to your podcast. I can't anymore. You know, I totally get why people listen.
All right, should we talk about my dad?
Yes.
All
Can we? Can we? Can we?
Yes, we can.
So you've been following this?
Yes, I have. There's this. I just feel like there's so many parallels, like, because like when I was reading about your dad stuff, it reminded me like a while ago. My dad was like trying to be supportive, and it was the first time he was trying to be supportive about comedy. And he's like, you know, I just feel like you need to get your name out there more. You know, you should just talk to Steve Harvey. Like, you should just go and talk to him, and like you have his number. And I was like, no, I don't have his number at all. So it just reminds me of like that, and like times where my dad was trying to be supportive.
My dad would do
Except
that.
not as supportive as like talking graphically about sex. But like,
Now, keep in mind, Steve Harvey is sensitive about his teeth, so don't bring that up. What, Dad? Okay.
oh man.
Okay.
So, do we have to fill people in or not?
Just very briefly, Keith's father contacted his ex-wife of 2 years. The ex-wife sent it to Keith. Keith then started pretending he's the ex-wife. Her name is Kat/Catherine. So fake Catherine has been writing real dad for a couple of months now. Recently, she's confessed that she's into him, and father has a response today.
The last email.
Oh, no, he had a response last time, but there's more of a response coming.
Oh, suck it now.
The last one I read to you was when Kat said flat out, "Hey, I'm in love with somebody, a priest, a man of God, who has been emailing me." And right away, my dad, who likes to play dumb a lot, is like, "Well, obviously it's me."
And that totally can happen. I'm 102, and you're a 30-year-old millionaire. Total hottie. I don't see how you could. Like, I knew this would happen. This is so weird. The confidence of men is, I mean, if I just had a quarter of that. Like, I spent time with my best friend just gazing at each other, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if he likes me. He likes me! Have some confidence!
Right.
But this guy, yeah, felt it, knew it, yeah. Oh, just another day of me being 152 and everybody falling in love with me. It could happen, and it does.
I mean, that's the sad part is that it does. Like, I remember, like,
No, it doesn't! No, it doesn't.
I mean, not like that, but like I've
with
had
money?
friends. I've had friends who are like that, who are like they are like ugly. Like as my friend would say, they have like a face like a bag of oatmeal. But like yet somehow like they will like somehow just get like these like very attractive people. I'm like, what's happening? And it's a combination of like, well, like I just believe in myself really confidently, and I also just like will like run through 100 rejections until I get one, and they just don't see rejection as a real thing.
My dad is going through 100 of my exes.
Yeah.
And it's paying off in a big way.
But that makes sense because that you're coming at me with something, and I might find you beautiful, what other people call ugly. Truly, truly, truly believe that. You're in the goddamn country. You've been in the country doing nothing. Lying in an email, pretending that you're a man of God, lusting after your son's wife. But yeah, she'll be into you. Sure.
Right.
I mean, you know, there are multiple movies that are
I
based
was
on
just
this.
gonna say, what movie are you talking about? Because none of this is real.
A murder
You got
mystery.
mail?
You got mail, I meant. I'm not sure how exactly to respond, my dad said, and I may very well grossly be misinterpreting what you are saying. With that said, listen to this. You are a beautiful, desirous woman. But this older man might be old enough to be your father, maybe even your grandfather. It is very easy to confuse love with a series of other emotions that stem from someone giving us a bit of guidance. I don't blame you, he's implying. You need a life partner who can who you can put first in your life. I'm gonna vomit. And they put you first in theirs. You are young, vibrant, intelligent, resourceful. Maybe your true destiny is to make a difference in millions of people's lives in matters that we mentioned in the last email, being a priest of some sort. But you do make an old man's libido jingle.
Ew.
Right.
Ew. Instead of, this is inappropriate and you need to find another place to let this out.
Right. So I'm thinking.
This is my son's ex-wife. Because
Right.
you know what? For a second, I forgot that. And it's just like, oh, there's an age difference and like, and everything else difference. And then I forgot, oh yeah,
Right.
and you were there going, you guys make such a good couple.
You were at the
Until
wedding.
I came.
Right.
Oh my God.
I mean, since I'm unavailable, I guess have one of my boys.
Maybe he gave such a stupid speech at my wedding so that my wife wouldn't slip and slide all over her chair. You know what I mean? My kid can never catch a ball. The end. Okay, I don't want you to fall in love with my oratory skills. So here's what I'm thinking of doing. Next time I visit, I'm going to send an email through my phone in real time and see him run downstairs.
Oh, no.
And then I'm just going to vomit all over the house.
Actually, that is a good idea. Like, hey, I'm passing through your town. Do you think we could meet? I have a hotel room in this hotel because you know where the hotel room is. And, I'm only there for one night. Can I meet you for a drink?
Oh, God. Do you want the answer to that, though? Because that's really scary.
If you like pina coladas. Yeah, let's walk in the rain, buddy. Who's going to open the door? Hey, dude, it's your son. Remember me?
Now my son's in love with me? So my dad, 6:40 in the morning, writes...
Rise and shine.
Right. So he finishes masturbating at 6:39 a.m. 6:40, he writes me, Keith Malley. How's life treating my beloved son?
No.
Hope all is going well with you.
You should write back as Keith. This email made me wet, and I'm confused now.
So yesterday's
You
guest,
shouldn't have circumcised me.
Yes,
More
sir.
on that later.
the guest Lucas Connolly, he stuck around after the show and helped me put together this email. He's sick. So he's
That was so fun. He had some good thoughts.
Oh,
He's
my
saying
God.
you-
I love Lucas.
You write that you're definitely with your new girlfriend, Kyle, and that you imply it's not going to work out with me and Kat. Kat was trying to get us back together. I don't blame her. And then on the side, fake Kat will hit on my dad, and my dad might be able to play ball now because I'm out of the picture. Well, we'll see.
Wow.
So
Son, first of all, I don't need you to step out of the way. I am the way. 80 years of knowledge,
I work.
all in my wrinkly balls.
Oh. And I usually like older guys. Oh.
It's jingling, baby.
Oh, my God. Jiggling Levito. It's like a nasty Santa Claus.
Son, I work in mysterious ways. So I wrote, things are going great, thanks. Work is going well. Fun things with Kyle are her youngest just graduated 5th grade, so he's obviously an adult now. Right, little humor. We'll see if he carries over his love of dinosaurs into adulthood. I've had to step up my dad game, so I know all about the stegosaurus and pterodactyls if you have any questions. Who would have thought being a father took work? Oh, we're getting along. Kyle and I celebrated a year together last month, and we're finding some time to get away for July for our birthday, some kind of spa-like retreat. It'll be a few more years till we reach 51 years together, like my parents have, but baby steps. Congrats again on your anniversary, you fucking creep. Keith. So my dad rates
Now,
back.
just for the record, he did not say you fucking creep because these are the kinds of emails that could include that. We left
Right.
that out. These have to be so clear because he said jingling libido.
Right.
So now we could be making anything up.
Right.
So this is to you?
This is to me, he
Okay.
writes. Sounds great. I truly wish you and her and the children the very best.
Lies.
Really? You were trying to get us to break up when you were talking with Catherine earlier. That's
And
interesting.
you were trying to get us to break up when Kyle was in earshot and you were saying goodbye to me.
Right.
Oh,
when-
my God.
Yeah.
In person on the way out, he goes, take another look at this.
Wow.
I
Yikes.
Right. And
I'd be like, take another look at your son. Kyle's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah.
right.
Let's decide who's dating down here. Stop yourself.
I truly wish you and her and the children the very best. Working at fatherhood is far more work than anyone who is not a father
I want to throw up at that line.
could possibly imagine. None of your kids like you. Where did you read it hard?
Oh, my God.
Not one of them like you.
Oh, my God.
Is it that hard to make your own kids like you? 'Cause
Right.
If you ask any dad, it seems it's true.
Yeah.
But really, we're in rooms that people go like, look, he hit me, but since then he said sorry. And we're the best of friends now.
Yeah.
Right.
You will turn around about your parents in a heartbeat. They just have to be half nice to you. You could be in that abusive relationship your whole life. You just need a nugget of love every here and again. But all your children hate you. All 5. You didn't get one right.
Right.
maybe a middle child who's desperate for something. Not even that one.
In the episode with Robin Virginia and Shelton Lindsay, we were talking about my dad rating Catherine, saying, "Do you know the song, I Want to Grow Up and Be Just Like You, Dad?" And he's talking about Cats in the Cradle. And so Fake Cat writes, "Yeah, you're talking about it's a song called Cats in the Cradle, redone by Ugly Kid Joe," which I hope you look up because there's a middle finger on the cover. It's very funny.
She should have linked it.
Right.
The new 86.
Right. And he's like, "Yeah, that's what life was like for me and my son. I think my son resents that I was away all the time." And to be clear, I don't remember him being away at all.
Also,
he was there too much. If anything.
To be clear, you resented when he was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please go.
That is your entire autobiography.
So now in this letter to me, he writes, "A bit of advice for both you and Kyle. The original song, Cats in Cradle, said it all."
So now he got it right through your ex-wife.
So he just found, by the way, it is funny. It's not even a thing really, but it is funny how my dad takes something, changes it a little bit, makes it his own, makes it a fact. Like, so he just learned it's called Cats in the Cradle. He just changed it to Cats in apostrophe N. Like, why did you make it your own? Do you know what I mean?
Keith, when you're dating younger, you pick up on slang, and it just kind of gets into your vernacular.
Right. I mean, it's not a big
You
deal.
wouldn't
It's just
know
funny.
because there's a small age gap between you and Kat, but he can get that young poon.
Cats in the Cradle said it all, and acting like he knew the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, mhm.
You know some
Yep.
Cats in the Cradle. Oh yeah, where'd you hear that?
Yeah, remade by
Yeah.
Kid Joe. He just like copies and pastes and then changes a comma
Right.
It's like, why is this text purple?
with sparkles.
I'll never know if you guys missed me all the years that I was on the road. 3 weeks.
We can tell you.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation right now.
Yeah.
3 weeks out of every 4. But I certainly missed out on your smiles and laughter. Try not to let that happen to you folks. Okay. And so I wrote back. I wanted to write back that I don't remember 3 weeks out of every 4. And by mistake, I wrote months. So I wrote, I'll look it up. But when were you gone? 3 months out of every 4. How old was I? And then he writes, did I say months? I thought that I said weeks. So sorry if I said months. And what the heck are you doing up at this time? Because I'm writing it in the middle of the night. It didn't bother you that Cat was right in the middle of the night. But that's interesting. Also, scroll. You could see, you got it right.
Yeah.
What a weird weird thing.
But also, that's the same math. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess if you're gone 3 weeks out of every 4 weeks, you're gone more than you being home
it's
one full
just
month at a time. I don't know.
Heartbreaking. It's, it's a kind of special love from beyond.
Right. And he writes, I was on the road with my shows like that. No, I don't know what shows. Okay. I don't know either. I was on the road with my shows like that for 22 years until 1986. And I had to bring out a calculator, an abacus, a calendar. What is he?
Keith and I were doing math like we've never done math before.
Yeah.
This was the regents of math. I'm like, when was he a priest?
So 22 years he's been on the road, 3 weeks out of every 4. Mm-hmm. So that's from 1964 until he said 1986. When was he a priest? When did he meet my mom?
Yeah, that means 5 years into that, about 5 years into that, he met your mom. But he was supposed to be a priest at that point. So when did he go to the seminary? That's a 7-year school. He also says he went to a state college. Man, maybe that's what they mean by 30s is the new 20s, because in your 20s and 30s, you could just say you're 20. So
Right.
he had like 2 decades of 20s.
So
Am I doing the math right? Because I think that's his math.
if he's going to be 80, Common Core couldn't figure this shit out. If he was 80, and then he was on the road at 25. I know he met my mom when she was 29.
But he was older.
He was 25. No, he was 29.
And she was like 21.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's talking
So
about.
I think they have a 7-year age difference, so she would have been 22. First of all, second, so he's 29, but
So-
he's still on the road.
But he was on the road at 25.
And in the cemetery.
And a priest.
Not
Seminary.
cemetery.
So,
Someday.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's a Freudian slip.
yeah, and state college. So let's say he went to state college just for 2 years. That's about 18 to 20. Seminary, 20 to 27, while being on the road, of course, where the school missed him. But don't worry, he picked up on his work for the priesthood.
Right.
Got priesthood. Then
What a weird
marriage.
lie.
What
Can I
timeline
get like
is
a
this?
chart?
Right?
Like I'm really wait. So I'm sorry. I just want to make sure. I
Sure.
understand this.
Try.
Okay. So
I dare you.
It's so weird to gaslight someone when you can scroll.
yeah.
I
right.
don't- What's the math in your head?
I never said it's like the receipts are right there. Like
Yeah.
that's so okay. So he was 29, but then he was gone 3 weeks out of 4.
Right.
So basically, so that would add up to in an entire year. So okay, so like 3 months out of the year he was there, and 9 months he was not there, right?
That's some of the math. Thank
Basically.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then also wait. Okay, so your mom
Huh?
at the time.
It's okay if you don't have this. It's not a test. There won't be a test.
During
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand.
Oh my God, a lifetime of VIP. If you can draw out the timeline of Father Malley accurately based on these emails.
and my dad's eligible too. So I write back, LOL. Of course, I see you said weeks. I know that song, Harry Chapin. Where's this coming from, by the way? Did I miss you for 12 years? I don't remember it like that at all.
And that's another thing is he's talking about you until you were 12 years old and your older brother until he was 14. So
Right.
somebody would have remembered
Yeah.
that he was gone that much.
No one
But
remembers it.
you know what people remember, what your siblings, according to when I'm around them and what you guys talk about, you remember the fights,
Yes.
constant fights.
Yeah.
So you would remember the relief of them being apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's not what you remember, though.
Right. So my dad writes, a human's memories do not always match reality.
Oh my God.
Such is the case for us all, but this is really a lesson to you, son. I'm really not talking about me. But all of us. Me too. You, but I'm talking to you.
Hey, son, you're getting it all wrong. As per usual.
Right.
Yeah.
Memories are often greatly influenced by that which we want it to have been like.
Oh, now he's a social scientist.
In order to match our preconceived notions of how good or bad we'd like to think the former situation was.
Wow.
It's so much easier for us to do it that way so that we can more easily justify our present thoughts and actions.
But wouldn't that mean that you would be like, Dad, you were never there, as opposed to like, Dad, you were there all the time.
Right.
I remember it great.
Yeah.
But also, I don't like you. Where do I come
Yeah.
from? How do I get to these thoughts?
If you remember, I mentioned stegosaurus and pterodactyls. My dad writes, by the way, I just read a cute funny, that's what he calls a joke, a funny, that seems appropriate to pass on to you. Why wouldn't anyone ever hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom, even if humans would have been around at that time? So I'll teach him about word economy, but
You're hitting on my ex-wife. But yeah, no,
Right.
you go.
Yeah.
because
Pterodactyl,
right,
yes.
because the P is silent.
Oh.
Yes.
Why are we still talking about our dicks?
It doesn't end, right?
Just constantly.
So I'm like, all right, well, this train of thought is done between me and him, right? So then I go back to being fake cat. And in response to my dad saying about making the old man's libido jingle,
Yes, please repeat that line over and over again. It never fails. Somebody
Right.
pukes in the room.
oh, Christmas
like-
is ruined for me.
Even gayer right now.
Right.
Ew,
Jingle
God.
balls, jingle balls. Like, ugh. And so fake Catherine writes, well, it sounds like you've been thinking the same thoughts. Cat.
Best thing ever.
Oh God.
Yes. Because you know what? She's right. That's what it sounds like.
Right.
Oof.
So then my dad writes. That's Andrea in the background. No/moan/swallowing spit up. No.
The
Why?
thing is it's not fiction. We're not just telling a
Right.
story. So we don't know if like to hold you or
Right.
I mean, why hasn't he like reported this to you?
To the police.
I mean,
Why didn't he report it to me? Because he's a creep.
sorry.
One cannot control one's thoughts, but we can control our actions.
yes, you're right. I have been jacking it to you. I've been jingling and jingling. Oh, I get it. When he pounds his meat, the balls go up and down. That's what libido jingling is? Come on, help me out.
One cannot control one's thoughts.
Yes, they can.
I can't help it either. I've been married for slightly over 51 years. Well, it's been a day over, but okay. I have not strayed in all those years, and I do not intend to so now. So just to be clear, he's not ready to leave my mom and move in with her. Well, can we keep it to jingling? No, you're not going to go to Texas and move in with her. We're going to have to stop it at completely inappropriate.
You know what? I've masturbated to you, but slow down.
Yeah. I'm not ready to commit.
Listen, this bitch is going to die any minute. Can you hold on for a goddamn second?
What are the neighbors going to think? Firstly, I am married and have a fine wife. Currently, she has some health issues, but such is not unusual at our ages. She has been a very fine wife to me all these many years, and that, in and of itself, would preclude my staying faithful to her. Oh, so sweet.
What the
Well,
fuck are
can
you
he
talking
say
about?
why fine? I mean, why not
Oh,
like
because
I have a
he's a
beautiful wife, or I have like very caring and
Oh yeah, he found all the floral words for your ex.
Vibrant, beautiful,
yeah,
God's
exactly.
gift.
Yeah.
My wife, fine,
Fine.
makes a mean sandwich.
fine. She's
Oh,
like that's it.
Yeah.
She's a DVR. She works. I get to watch my shows.
She doesn't make my libido jingle, but she's not in my way.
She has some health issues, but you know how old bitches are.
She goes to church a lot, and I get the house to myself.
That's when I eat my chocolate.
My
In
wife
hiding.
my wife is fine. But,
Oh my god.
yeah, but you are scrumptious. Second, God's commands tell us keep such matters in check.
Otherwise, I'd be all up in your shit.
Thirdly, there is something inherently wrong with a man hooking up with his former son's wife. No! Oh, someone woke up.
Oh, he said it.
Good
Sorry,
morning.
my standards are so low.
So sweet,
My
right?
dad was not the best. I'm like, oh, good. He tried.
Oh, you remember. Oh, is Valentine's Day next?
We must refrain from acting like a reed blown in the wind.
Oh my god.
We might wait.
We must refrain from acting like a reed blown in the wind. So don't just give up and go with our urges.
No, that's the thing. We must refrain, meaning if they were in front of each other, he would think that there was electricity. We mustn't do this.
Right.
We mustn't do it. Ma's in the house, and she's a fine lady.
We must refrain from acting like a reed blown in the wind, first one way, then the other. It wasn't that many weeks ago you wanted to remarry Keith.
Remember that, bitch?
Then the female after him.
She doesn't have a name.
What about...
Yeah.
Right.
I did notice that. I'm glad you said that.
Then that female.
What about during your marriage to him and before that? Set your sights on a higher power, in parentheses, God. I mean, I don't want confusion. Some people say your lamp can be a higher power. Get the fuck out! Does that make any goddamn sense? A lamp built the world. Who built the lamps? A lamp? Fuck you. I mean God. He will guide you to a long, beautiful, happy, and fruitful life.
Oh, so beautiful is also another word. Not a fine life?
Yeah.
Just wondering. You didn't look up any synonyms for that one, did you? Your thesaurus was missing for a minute.
Congratulations on attending the church services once again. And that's the end.
Church makes me hot too.
Now, I would love for him to share this with my mom. He's not. He knows it's wrong. But I would love to go, hey, this is weird, but Keith's ex is hitting on me. My mom would be like, wait, who has dementia? Me? What? No, I'm serious. What?
Can you imagine that your son's ex is reaching out to you and you're hiding it from your spouse? I'd be like, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to share this with you. This is like blowing my mind. And
Also, I need to, like, you're my lawyer.
right. Yeah.
You know, I want to witness her in case things get strange between my son and me.
Like, did I do
Yeah.
something wrong? You know,
Yeah.
like this is very weird. And also the response for that should have been like, listen, you know, I was being cool, but this is fucked up and you're going to have to find a different space for that. And I think that being mean to her would have been better than this.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
there are ways to be like, look, this is inappropriate. I'm stopping here and I think we shouldn't email anymore. That's like the best case scenario. But a better case scenario than like, we mustn't. I want to, but we
Right.
mustn't. But I want to, but we mustn't. oh, better than that would be like, get the fuck out. Never reach out to me again. I've never cursed in my life, but I'm saving this word to you. Fuck off.
Yes.
That's my goddamn son, and I'm saying goddamn, meaning G-D. I can never throw this out. It is in the fucking record books.
Stay away from me and my adequate family.
Yeah.
You're a weirdo.
Yeah.
Me, my perfectly acceptable family. With my even-keeled wife.
Meh in yours.
So
I just really don't understand. Like, I feel like if I were in this situation, I would immediately forward this to my son and be like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with this. Like, I don't know if I'd be extremely, like, no, fuck off. I would definitely be like, you should handle this and talk to your ex-wife.
This
about
is how the
why.
whole thing started. My ex-wife knew to hand it over to me and
Yeah.
be like, this is weird. This is your dad rating me. Do what you want to do, but I want nothing to do with it. That's what you should have done, Pops.
yeah.
You go,
That's
hey, son, look
insane.
at this fucking weird shit. Never mind, you wrote in the first place. That doesn't
Yeah,
make
yeah, I
sense.
mean,
Why would you?
hi, let me forward you what I just forwarded.
People are, of course, listening live and
Vomiting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Christian is writing, I love the Father Mally and fake cat letters. Yet today I was wondering if Keith would feel guilty if his father would die from a massive heart attack. Shall he find out that he's been Keith-fished?
No. Not at all. Not at all. And
What? How is this Keith's fault?
by the way, it's a favor. He wants to go to a better place with no pain.
That's right.
And millions of cats, if you know what I mean. So somehow it wouldn't bother my wife in heaven because you get anything you want. This is what he wants. No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
I don't think you would either. I don't think that, you can kill your dad because you would have. All five of
Right.
your kids don't like you and you're managing to live just fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, nothing's breaking your heart.
You're right.
That's true.
Yeah, I would be devastated. My kids don't call me. My kids are not interested in my life. My kids do the quote right thing 2 days a year on Father's Day and my birthday and do me a favor when they come over for Christmas, and I fucking hate it. He doesn't like having kids.
Right.
He doesn't realize he doesn't have any anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You're all adults.
Right.
But so this whole thing, like,
We're keeping him alive, if anything.
yeah, it would break my heart if
Right.
I had to convince you to show me any love. I would learn how to fix that.
Yeah.
There's some YouTube videos that he could benefit from.
Right.
Some podcasts that would be great. Some TED Talks that would blow his goddamn mind.
So here's the idea I had for the next email.
Okay.
Tell me what you think. Okay, I moved on also. I'm in love with a goat. She's really out there. She jumps all over the place.
Keith takes screenshots of his dad's email, sends it to me, and goes, I'm writing this. And I have to go, Keith, not yet, not now. Please hold on. And he's like, okay. But
Wait
I
until
really
s-
think this is a good answer. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Wait till the season finale.
Right.
I'm like, Keith, let's get in the writer's room.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of yourself. And he's really like, but I'm done with him. I'm like, yeah. I'll be in the studio in an hour. Hold on. No, I don't think so.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, no, don't go the goat route.
What should be next? Because we got to keep upping it. So I don't,
Well, he needs a pause again. I say wait a month.
Okay.
I would wait like 2 weeks, and then I would definitely use the whole like, I actually might be in the area.
Yes, that's what I want.
That's where I would escalate to.
Yeah.
If you want to escalate to there.
Okay.
Yes.
And just say, I understand this may be inappropriate, and I know we don't want to be reeds,
Don't even.
but let's be sunflowers or something,
Oh.
That's good.
Oh. Oh, boy. I'm sorry I named that right away. Oh, good. I didn't know you were a poet. Yes, okay.
I'll be your son if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, I see. No, because only we know what that means. Okay. But I do like that. And possibly could you do it on a day that you could actually be there and open the door for him? Keith and the girl will pay for your hotel room. You can bring Kyle. Meanwhile, keithandthegirl.com/VIP. Sign up.
Yeah.
Because he has expensive tastes.
You want Keith to show up with flowers, right?
Oh, yeah.
That would be great.
Hello.
Yeah. You open the door and there's flowers. What up, Dad?
Yeah.
How's it going? What are you doing here?
Well, this is weird timing because I actually have to go out and get milk. I'm like, really, Dad? You fucking asshole.
Are you also getting a pack of cigarettes?
Right.
Yeah, what would be great is is if she makes a plan to meet him one day, because he's like, I'll come for the guidance and have lunch, and maybe we should meet in your hotel room because I don't know what I'm gonna have. Shut up. So, but then, so they make all these plans, and like a day before, you're like, guess what? I'm gonna be in the neighborhood tomorrow, and then he has to like start juggling Three's Company style, like, oh, no, I'm going for and say you're staying in the same hotel but in a different room number, and so then just have him go from like one room to another.
Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually really amazing. I love this idea.
In the meantime, should he get my dad to admit that she's prettier than his wife? All right, we'll see.
By the way, I think he already did. So
Right. She's fine.
Meanwhile, it's seriously, and I know you know this. Your mom is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
She's got a great sense of humor. She's super hot. Like, honestly, it's just try to stop yourself. You just,
Right.
but he thinks he's better.
Yeah.
He thinks he's better than that. He thinks he deserves better. He thinks he's doing her a favor, staying with her while she's sick. He thinks he's like the best right now.
Right.
Like he's really doing anything. She has dementia. He just goes, you're confused.
Yeah, nothing's different.
No.
She's still making him lunch and stuff. I know it.
Yeah.
damn.
He's not helping her. What is he helping her bathe?
Right.
And being like, I miss your body.
All right. Anyway, all this is Cato's fault. You can follow him online at Cato Calvin.
Your whole fucking family.
For the Instagram and the website, he goes first name first. Calvin S. Cato is the Instagram. The website is calvincato.com,
Yes.
right? All right, man, always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure too, and I will please keep me updated. Let me know if you do this Three's Company thing because this is gonna be amazing.
All right.
I will find money from somewhere, fly out there as well. I'll be in another room to just watch.
By the way, do you have a blazer today because you're going to the speed dating tonight?
No.
No?
Okay, sadly, so I have a blazer because I'm doing a corporate gig for a real estate company, and they're like, we want a queer show, but no cursing and no sex. And so I was like, so a straight show. Okay, great. So
Just don't talk about, the way you lean.
yeah,
Don't remind people. They'll just have to know.
they'll figure it out, but with context clues.
It's June, so we have to hire one of you. But can you leave us out of your lifestyle and wear a blazer for fuck's sake?
Honestly, it's so funny how that always happens during Pride. It's like Pride, and then you just clean house. We're like, we need a gay and a black, yes. And then it's like, do these corporates, and you're like, okay, I mean, I'll do that because it's money. But it's always so awkward because they're like, can you just not do this, or just not be explicit, or you can talk about a relationship, but can you just say it like the love that dares not speak its name? It's
Wow.
so stupid.
Wow. Can you come do a show from inside our closet?
Yeah.
Hey, Calvin, my ex just wrote you. Dear Calvin.
Don't forget, if you like this show, share it. That's how we make more.